Lance Fritz is a leader's leader.
He cares deeply about the community, about the family, about business. And when you need him, he leans in.
If you didn't know that Lance wasn't from Nebraska, you might think that he was. He is just a genuinely good person.
Lance Fritz is a dynamic leader for Nebraska.
I didn't join UP thinking, man, this is the place I'm going to run someday. The whole idea of being CEO was not the paramount concern. The paramount concern was, am I the right person for this job? Is this a team I want to work with? Does it look like we're set up in a way where we could have success? And that all proved to be the case inside of Union Pacific. I was born in California, Southern California. I went to school in the middle of Pennsylvania to Bucknell University. I met my wife there, and then moved all over the place for basically the job.
During Lance's tenure as CEO, he had three basic difficulties. One was a huge decline in our coal business, which was billions in dollars of lost revenue. Secondly, you had to change how you operated the railroad. We went to a precision scheduled railroading, which is kind of like going from the West Coast offense as a Husker to a power I formation. It's that big a change how you operate the railroad. And then lastly, of course, there was COVID, where your workforce and your management team was separated for what we thought was going to be a month, ended up being years. A tremendous transitionary time that Lance led Union Pacific through, and we are now poised, really, at the end of Lance's term here, to really move forward as the large transportation entity we are in the country.
Lance and I had been asked to co-chair an initiative that they were calling Blueprint Nebraska. Lance recognized that the work ethic and the innovative nature of Nebraskans were kind of going to be the fundamental building blocks of what this plan was going to be.
And the whole idea behind Blueprint, to give the state of Nebraska a roadmap for fulfilling its potential and have that built out not by a government entity or a university by itself or a group of special interests, but to have the state leaders in their totality build it out. Ultimately, more than 9,000 people were involved in providing insight and information. Tax modernization that just passed in this session is informed by the work Blueprint Nebraska did.
He was really a tremendous champion for Nebraska during that process.
Lance and I became acquainted some 12 years ago when we both served in the Transformational Strategic Planning Committee for the United Way of the Midlands.
It really set the organization on a new path. We expanded our 211 services, which is a health and human services referral line, grew that exponentially, and it serves the entire state of Nebraska. He also helped us prepare to lead programs that were statewide, including our Jobs for America's Graduates program.
At that time, I began observing Lance's wonderful servant leadership skills. Steward of the organization, great empathy for people, and vision and foresight.
He wants to take good things and make sure they're available to everyone in the state of Nebraska.
I've had the pleasure of serving now for several years on the Greater Omaha Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. Lance was chair of the chamber, I believe, in 2019. When he believes in something, he is all in. Lance was extremely active, and diversity, equity, and inclusion was at the very top of his agenda as he served as chair of the chamber.
Lance was chief operating officer. We had a spate of incidents, and Lance personally said, we got to do something about this. So he had the communications team create a shield called Courage to Care.
It's very simple. It essentially says, I'm going to look out for you. I expect you to look out for me. I'm going to have the dignity and respect when you see me doing something wrong and you correct it. It was a statement that put a stake in the ground and said, this is how we're going to love each other and act on that in our workplace.
There's so many stories that are going through my head about the conversations that we've had. He just always shows up as authentically himself.
I think what's going to be really fun is to see what's on the horizon for Lance and for Julie. You know, they're going to continue to lean into the community and serve the community.
If you look at the economic development of Nebraska, Lance Fritz's fingerprints are all over.
I'm very proud that I had the opportunity to be the CEO of the company, to be the steward of all that we represent. It's the best job in the world. I'm very proud of the team that I've assembled and their capability. I mean, there's just a whole lot that Union Pacific has accomplished that I've been a part of, and when I look back at it, I'm really proud of that.